Hi once again, everyone. It's Monday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Valley's most detailed, in-depth weather video, and we're going to talk about a lot of things this evening. Most of them have to do with cold and snow. As promised in our winter forecast, this December, nothing like last December, which was the warmest on record. All right, 42 is our forecast today. The actual high this afternoon, 40, so we get a check mark. We're 5 for 5. In the 2-degree guarantee so far this month, our accuracy streak up to 6 days. Very consistent weather pattern over the last 5 days. We've had highs near 40 since the middle of last week. When I went home for dinner after the 6, I could see the moon and Venus up there. We've got a mostly clear sky, especially south of I-80 when I recorded this, but clouds will fill back in as we go through the overnight. Anyone who has clear skies this evening, temperatures are getting chilly pretty quickly, but then as the clouds roll in, that process of dropping will stop, and actually temperatures may rise in some spots later on tonight. All right, good news for people in the deep south. This is liquid gold down here where they've just been in a terrible drought during the fall season. Places such as Atlanta and Charleston and Savannah, Pensacola, Tallahassee, all these places getting some beneficial rain this evening. Still the threat for severe weather, unfortunately, in the panhandle of Florida. This is the system that's going to spread rain our way tomorrow. I think we'll be dry at the bus stop tomorrow morning as the kids head off to school, and you might head off to work dry, but by 10, 11 o'clock, rain from south to north becomes increasingly likely. And this is just, a cold rain tomorrow. Not much worse than a cold rain. It might as well snow if it's going to be this cold. But nonetheless, yeah, we're going to have the rain in the afternoon. Now, I can't rule out some sleet pellets trying to mix in with this rain tomorrow. A wet snowflake or two. Any frozen precipitation won't stick or anything. It's just a cold rain for most of the afternoon. It'll be soggy until about sunset, and then maybe a leftover shower through about 6, 7 o'clock, and that should be it for that system. Pushes out to the east. I think Wednesday is actually the best day of the week. It's going to be seasonably chilly, upper 30s, but we should see a little sun working in as we get into the afternoon. Here's our Arctic front on Thursday. It goes through. Now, there's not going to be a lot of moisture at first with this, but especially as we get into Thursday afternoon, we might start to see some flurries and snow showers trying to develop. The lake effect itself will be a little more pronounced, I think, as we go into Friday than Thursday. But it will be a windy day Thursday, and temperatures will struggle to get above freezing. Back here on Tuesday, hour-by-hour breakdown of the rain chances, 100% from about 1 to 4 or so, and then decreasing chances after that. And our models are showing a pretty good drink of water tomorrow. I mean, a pretty good average here of about a half an inch. You can see the RPM model actually has over 3/4 of an inch, but I think that's a little rambunctious. I think a half an inch or so, maybe 0.6 or so, would be about average for this rain event coming our way tomorrow. At least it's not snow. I mentioned if it's this cold, it might as well snow, but truth be told, I don't want to shovel it. We won't be shoveling anything tomorrow. Our neighbors to the east, though, if you happen to be traveling tomorrow, I-80, tomorrow into tomorrow night and parts of Wednesday morning, towards Williamsport, PA, the State College area, over towards the Pocono Mountains in eastern PA, there will be some accumulations here. Handful of inches in some spots in central and northern Pennsylvania. Look at the wind chills this evening up in Alberta, parts of British Columbia, into Saskatchewan, minus teens, minus 20s. Nothing unusual for them in December, but here's the Arctic air mass, and it is coming. Check out this animation. It'll take us out over the next 48 hours. You can track that Arctic air heading to the south and east. It didn't want to work for me. But let me see if I can get that back. I want to show that to you. Bear with me for just a second here. I wanted to show you the Arctic air plunging south and east. Look at those temperatures out across the northern Rockies, northern plains, 6 in Rapid City by tomorrow night. And again, the Arctic air mass gets in here on Thursday. Check out the wind chills here. Let's actually show you first Friday. Wind chills on Friday, probably upper teens to around 20. Now, I don't think these will be the kind of wind chills Thursday morning or Friday morning that will cause school adjustments. It's not going to be that bad. Sorry, kids. But it'll be unpleasant to be outside, that's for sure. That's Friday. For the Penguins game on Saturday, these wind chills might be a little pessimistic, but I expect air temperatures on Saturday to be in the upper 20s and to around 30. Wind chills probably between 20 and 25. So it's going to be a cold afternoon at, appropriately enough, the Ice Castle for the big playoff game on Saturday. Now, as far as the snow shower activity at the end of this week with the Arctic air, again, I think the lake effect is most pronounced on Friday. I think there's going to be several inches of snow up in the snow belt, Geauga, Lake Ashtabula, heading over to Erie, PA, southwest New York. Could someone need the shovel in our viewing area, especially north of I-80? I think that's possible. Too early to specify amounts here, but yeah, this is a pretty typical lake effect setup, I think, where, if you typically get lake effect snow and it typically tries to accumulate a little bit, that'll probably happen this time as well. So we'll go into the weekend. Again, on Saturday, it's going to be cold, but not as windy. Notice our isobars aren't as packed together here. And I do think that the wind is going to try to shift to more of a west-southwest direction, and that'll put the lake effect more aimed at southwest New York than northeast Ohio. Might even see some sunshine on Saturday. All right, models are definitely picking up on a cold signal at the end of next week. This, cold air mass at the end of this week looks like just kind of an appetizer. Probably going to be even colder at the end of next week. Check out some of these raw numbers here on the European model. Mid-20s for highs. Ooh. And there'll be some wind with that. That's about 10 days from now. So we'll, of course, fine-tune that as we get closer. But December means business this year, especially compared to last year. We've been saying this for about a month now since we put out our initial winter forecast. That's tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you tonight, 21 News at 11. Don't forget you can watch Weather Geeks on your app, on the website, on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com, and always a link to it on Facebook and on Twitter.